Hello friends, Tanya here with day 12 of the 2025 Spellbinders 13 Days of Craft-O-Ween. That is quite the title, isn't it? All right, another gorgeous folder to open. Oh my gosh, I love this. It has so many cool elements that are add-ons to it or accessories to it. We've got a really cute witch's cauldron, and I am using iced spruce and bundled sage on this kind of a sagey green colored cardstock that I pulled from my rainbow of paper scraps. And I'm ink blending this to create 3 different green tones to go in the bubbling cauldron. I did like this little bit of a blue tint to it, just adds a nice detail. And once those 2 ink colors dry, you can really see a difference in those colors. Now for the cauldron, you have this backer piece that creates the handles of your cauldron, which you can cut from a different color or a different texture. I'm using the onyx assorted treasured cardstock here. I have glitter cardstock cut for the rim of our cauldron and for the handles. And for the body of the cauldron, I have the matte cardstock cut. Now you can create some like witch's legs for your cauldron, which we're going to do next. I have the purple base or the stem of your cauldron, and then the stripes for the witch's stockings look. I cut those from the matte metallic cardstock also, and that matches the boots here. You don't have to put these elements on your cauldron, but I thought I would assemble all of the accessories on this demonstration part. Now that I have the feet put on our cauldron, I'm going to assemble the skull. It has a backer that is just the same shape as the skull and makes your eyes and nose show through. There is also a bone, single bone that cuts out, and then there is like a stir stick or a stir stick. I'm using some black Wink of Stella, which I don't know if you can get anymore. I have had it in a drawer in my craft room, and unlike jelly roll pens, these do not require you to use them frequently to still work. I just pulled it out of my drawer, hadn't touched it in probably a year, and it worked just fine. Now it's time to layer on our bubbles. There is no specific way that these need to go on, and it is fun to layer them together to create quite the look of bubbling cauldron. I'm just trying to stay within the bounds of what would look normal for a bubbling cauldron. Now I'm just going to tuck our little skull in between a couple of the layers of the bubbles, and we'll take the bone, and I think I cut it in half, so I have 2 bones, and we're going to stick that in our stew here. She's making quite the potion, isn't she? I'm assuming we're going to have a little witch with this. Then I'm going to take that stir stick, and I decide to put the narrow end in the stew. Just going to tuck that between the bones. And you can put this in all kinds of different configurations. And that completes our cauldron with accessories. Now let's move on. We're going to start our card. We're going to use the Fiona the Dancing Witch. I got this last year and did not find time to play with it before spooky season closed. And so I thought it would be a great opportunity to combine this with the cauldron. You maybe already have Fiona in your stash, and she is part of the whole dancing collection, which is such a fun and easy kinetic element to add to your cards. The dancing elements, it's so simple and it's so easy to put together. Doesn't take any engineering degree to figure out how it comes together. I put our stripes on her leggings or her stockings, and now I'm going to add some colored cardstock slivers behind the face to add color to her cheeks and to her eyes. I wanted her to have green eyes. I just think that is a wonderful eye color. It's pretty rare, and I like the green going with the purple and the black for our Halloween feel. There are two little hands for our little lady that will stick out her very voluminous sleeves. There's this cute little collar, and then the buttons down the front of her coat, they have some bones cut for those. Again, just perfect to match with this cauldron. The cauldron is about the right size too to match up with our cute little witch. Now you could make her less spooky with different color choices and not using the bones for the buttons on her dress. That really is what makes this that is what really makes this look like a little witch. The color choices and the witch hat and the little witch boots, but you could make this not a witch also. Just going to adhere her cute little boots, and then I'm going to add her hands. These are pretty detailed hands. I really like these. And you could have them in towards the top of the sleeves or towards the bottom, although top makes most sense because the gravity would pull the sleeves to hit the wrists at the top and droop from the lower parts. So I guess I could have put those arms or those hands just a little higher in the sleeves. I chose to center them. I added some green hair. This matches the bubbling cauldron quite nicely. I don't think it's exactly the same color, but I thought it'd be fun to have a green-haired witch. We're going to add the hat, and there are two pieces here to the brim, which helps to add the hat to her head. It really gives that sense that she's actually wearing the hat since you can see part of it behind her head. We'll add the little hat band, and I decided to make that purple to match her leggings. And I cut the hat from some pearl cardstock. It's the matte metallic and the glitter cardstock. There's also a buckle to add to the front of her hat, and I should have gone silver probably, but I chose gold, and that is some matte gold from the gold assortment of treasured cardstock. There is our cute little witch. You don't have to make her a dancing element, but I chose to do that. Now for our card, I'm actually going to make this cauldron just have feet here, just like a more traditional look here. And you can do that. You can not put feet on this at all. This looks like a slightly raised cauldron without the legs, the witch's leg stripes. Next, I'm taking a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 inch craft cardstock, and I'm ink blending it in kind of a splotchy fashion with Distress Oxide in pumice stone. I want to create a stone background for our little witch. I struggled with the background for this just a little bit because I wanted this to look, I just didn't want to take too much away from the main images. Now that I've ink blended it, we're going to spritz it with the antique linen and hickory smoke distress spritzes. So these are just clear liquid with colored mica. So it's not as overpowering as the distress mica stain sprays, which have a colored liquid and colored mica. Next, we're going to take the Altenew textured plate. This is a better press plate in a stone wall. Now it's actually not, it's designed to be an A2 size card, but you know how I like to expand those things, my patterns, my glimmering, better pressing. I just did 2 passes with this so that I have something big enough to make 5 by 7 card front. I'm using the satin pewter foil. This is from the Satin Metallics collection. It's a box of 4 different foils, and I'm foiling that on our cardstock. Again, this is better press and foilable, this plate, so you could do either. You can even do some dry embossing with this, with a embossing mat in your folder, and it just creates texture. We're going to cut this with the largest of the 5 by 7 Matting Basics Set B. This is my favorite size to cut from that and then to mount onto our 5 by 7 card base. I am using a Craft 5 by 7 card base here. You can kind of see the seam between the different plates, but it's going to blend in very nicely in the finished product. Now I've laid these out the way I want to lay them, and I'm taking some elements from I think that's day 4. I'm going to take the pumpkin, and what else did I take from there? Was it just the pumpkin? I think it was just the pumpkin. And then from day 8, I believe, it was the coffee or the skull-shaped mug. I'm taking the bats and the sip gravestone, and we're going to add those extra elements to our card front. I did ultimately die cut another of those little skulls. Actually, I think I cut 2 of them. Yep, and an extra pumpkin from the day 4, and we're going to add those to the inside and the front of the card. I've got an extra bone from the day, what are we, day 12? Yes, day 12 die set, and I'm just laying these around the base of our cauldron. I love adding all of these little details. I really wanted to put a shelf up in that upper right-hand corner with books and little icons, but I couldn't find anything in my stash that would work for that right now. At least not off the top of my head. Oh, I also have the banner from day 4 that we're going to have our little witch hold. It doesn't go all the way to her hands, but I think it's close enough to give the feeling that we want. Now I have a dimensional here from one of these Spellbinders kits from long ago. I have gobs of these, and they work really well for our dancing elements. It gives enough room for these legs to swing back and forth very nicely. Now you want your dimensional that is suspending the legs that it pivots on to be the same height as the rest of the image that you're going to adhere down. I find the placement for where I want the dancing legs to pivot from. I add as you saw, I add the dimensional to that and adhere the main image over the top. Now, the legs were not swinging freely enough, so I had to trim down my dimensional. So I just peeled everything up and did a little bit of remodeling there. Did a little card surgery. Now the legs slide back and forth freely. Now it's time to add our last little element to our witch. She's going to hang on to this banner that says boo. I thought that was so cute. Next, we're going to take the August stamp and cut of the month from Hero Studio. It is called You Are Magic, and I love these big, bold sentiments in this stamp set. This isn't the first time or the last time that I will use these. I have 2 of the sentiments. We've got Don't Hide Your Magic and Stay Spooky. And I'm using some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and I'm going to stamp that on some craft cardstock. I'm going to do 2 or 3 stampings to get a nice solid sentiment. One more pass, and I did treat this cardstock with an anti-static powder bag before we started because I knew I was going to clear heat emboss this. Now that I have that black stamping as intense as I would like it, I'm going to add some clear embossing from my embossing powder container here. I just have a sandwich container. I've had this same container full of a variety of clear embossing powders from a variety of brands. In fact, I even had, back in the day, Stampin' Up! Had some scented embossing powders that you scratch and sniffed. Well, I didn't use them much, so I dumped them all in here, and now I just use that for my sentiments. And any line art that I'm going to heat emboss works perfect. Now I'm going to use the gorgeous coordinating dies from this stamp set. They do cut even some parts from the centers of the sentiment. It doesn't just bubble cut this, and it's pretty close to the edges. It is not something I could do with fussy cutting myself. Highly recommend these sentiments. Oh my gosh, so cute. If you haven't purchased these, the purchase date for this month is August 27th. So you need to purchase the you need to have purchased the Hero Studio stuff for August 2025 by August 27th to be guaranteed your own copy. I don't remember what date to this come. Oh, August 30th. So it will have passed. Now, next month, they may have some extras listed. If they do, I'll try to come back and link those if you are still interested in the Stampin' Cut from August 2025. I'm going to add some extra layers of black cardstock. I thought black would be better peeking behind this than white. So I'm just adding a couple layers of the die cut sentiment to the back of this, so it stands out on our card base a little bit. It is a kind of, it's a nice neutral busy background, so the bold images really stand out. And then we're going to take the Stay Spooky one that I don't layer. It's just one layer of cardstock, and we'll adhere that to the inside of the card along with this cute little jack-o'-lantern and this skull. And that very nicely brings the imagery from the front of the card to the inside of the card. I think that really gives this a polished and beautiful feeling from inside to out. And that completes the card for day number 12. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a blast creating it. It was really fun to dig through my stash and find elements that would work well with this card. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done that. Leave me a comment. I love to hear what you have to say. If you're interested in any of the product that I used today, check that description box below. There will be a link to the full list of products that I used today. I will have one more video coming tomorrow. Come back and see that. And until next time, here are a couple more videos I thought you might enjoy. Bye-bye.